carries would you give Zeke?
North of 18, at least 18 is the floor. So anything north of that.
Why 18?
I just think the thing is, Skip, he's the highest paid running back in the league. Your franchise quarterback is out. If you're not going to lean on the running game now, if you're not going to rely on Ezekiel Elliott now, well, when the hell are you going to rely on him? It's either now or never. Skip, you're not getting the production out of the passing game that you thought. CD was a no-show. You might or you might not have Gallup back. We're going to talk about him a little later. And Schultz played well, but Noah Brown. Am I really counting? It's really Noah Brown. I'm thinking about it. Now he's a special teams maven. Okay, he came in and he contributed. He played okay. But I think now this is what we got Zeke for, is that we paid him this money when he was a bell cow back, and I don't believe that he's still that back. But I believe I got to lean on him now. I've got to rely on my offensive line, and we got to look, this is Cooper Rush back here. This ain't Dak. And contrary to what you think, Cooper Rush isn't close to Dak. I'm going to rely on Zeke. I'm going to say, Zeke, I'm going to give you, at bare minimum, you're getting 18 carries. That's at the bare minimum. Hopefully the game back, I think the thing was last week, Skip, and even though the game didn't get totally out of hand, for whatever reason, the Cowboys have abandoned who they actually are in running the football, because we paid a quarterback $40 million, and so we need to throw it. We have a number one receiver in CD Lamb. We need to show everybody that he's a number one receiver. And I believe they abandoned the run a little bit too quick on Sunday. But I don't believe that's going to be the case this Sunday. I believe they're going to get a heavy dose of Zeke. And I'm not talking about splitting carries, because it's hard for me to put Tony Pollard on the field, Skip, because pass protection, he was terrible. I don't know if he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. I don't know if he's unwilling to do it, because that's the grunt work. Because those linebackers, Skip, they're coming. And they're coming with bad intentions. And you're at a disadvantage because he has a running head start. But you've got to close the distance and stick your nose in it. If he runs over you, okay, that's fine. But you can't olay him. You can't get too caught up in the line and then all of a sudden he's by you and he's tackling your quarterback. So it makes it hard to put him on the field. Zeke will stick his nose in there. Zeke will block. So, but I want Zeke. Zeke needs to have at bare minimum, Skip, the floor is 18 carries. So I believe on Sunday he gets between 18 and 25 carries. That gives you the best chance to win this game, because that gives you the best chance to control the clock, control the ball, keep that high-flying offense off the field. Because Joe Burrow, even though he turned the ball over 4 times, they still had an opportunity to win that game.
Opportunity. It was in the bag. All you got to do is make the snap.
The PAT got blocked, and the dude shanked the 29-yarder.
Yeah.
So if that's me, Skip, I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure Zeke get that number of carries.
Okay, so you went wide variety there. You went 18 to 25.
I believe that's the low end. He's not going to get any fewer carries than that. I believe he'll be somewhere in that range between 18 and 25. That's your best chance of winning.
Underline 3 times the number you ended with, 25. He needs 25 carries on Sunday.
You want the really, really old Zeke. You want first-year Zeke to come back.
Little known fact, quickly forgotten fact. Last year, after the first game at Tampa, in which they just decided to try to out-Brady, and Dak threw for 403, and it was the best game he's ever played in his career. Wow. It is. Just go look, because it was sensational, and the GOAT goated them in the end, and they lost 31 to 29. Okay. But they threw the hell out of it.
Yes.
To a fault, they threw it. Because at some point, you got to keep Brady somewhat off the field and see the next Tom Brady, or the closest thing to Tom Brady, is going to visit Jerry World this time, and that's Joe Burrow. You have to shackle him a little bit over on the side. Just make him stand over there a while and run the clock a little bit. Okay, so in the Tampa game last year, to open up on the Thursday night, Zeke got the ball 11 times for 33 yards. Well, obviously, that's bad old Zeke. Then all of a sudden, it started to happen. They go to the Chargers, and it was their game of the year, because it's kind of a make or break. You're going to fall to 0-2, and they beat your team that you just picked to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC. But this was last year. Remember, Micah made the big sack late on Justin Herbert and took him out of, I think he fell out of field goal. Did they get a field goal out of it?
I think they might have got a field goal out of it.
At Chargers, Zeke got to carry the ball 16 times for 71 yards. That'll work. And then here we go again. Philly is home on a Monday night. He gets the ball 17 times for 95 yards. Aha! I see his trend here, right? Then Carolina comes visiting, and he gets the ball 20 times for 143. Well, that's great old days, right? In that vintage, that's almost the Ohio State. And then the Giants, he goes 21 times for 110. So there are 4 straight games in which it's great old days, Zeke, right? And over that 4-game stretch, he was 3rd. You can even throw in the opener if you want. He was 3rd in the league in rushing at that point, behind Derrick Henry. And I can't remember. Oh, Nick Chubb was the other one. Okay, behind those two. So you're running high. You're in high company there, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The rest of the year, obviously, he starts to plummet. But they wrote it off, and they gave him I'm going to have to accept it as a valid excuse. They said he sprained his PCL. And that hampered him all the way home last year. Okay, if that's the truth, he still registered in the end a career low 59 yards a game. So at that point, in that 4-game stretch, he was going 105-yard average per game. And he ends up with 59 a game. And in the end, he looked like a statue. And he looked thick and heavy, and it looked like he had a double chin. It looked like he had a little paunch going. And it was just hard to watch because that guy's the highest paid running back in pro football. That guy's a liability.
Well, Skip, also, although I don't believe he was the same back, I do believe they were starting to transition for the very reason that you said. You said you believe that was Dak's best game. What does Jerry like? Entertainment. Running the ball is not entertaining and exciting. What did he love most about Tony Romo? Tony Romo might throw 3 picks. He might throw for 500. But that was entertaining. That's box office. That's what Jerry wants. So I believe if I'm transitioning and I'm paying you $40 million, well, I need you to show me why I'm paying you $40 million. Throwing for 400 yards on opening day is a great way to show your owner why you paid me $40 million.
Okay. I've thrown this stat out before, and I throw it back at you one more time.
Okay.
Last year, Dak Prescott was 12-0 when they ran for 100-plus yards. It could be some Pollard yards, but
but as a team, yes.
Okay, 100-plus. He went 12-0.
Yeah.
When they didn't get 100 yards rushing, he was 0-5. Only once last year did Dallas Cowboys win a football game with under 100 yards rushing. Guess who the quarterback was? It was Cooper Rush at Minnesota on Halloween night. They had 78 yards total rushing, and he beat Kirk Cousins and the Vikings 20-16.
Right.
Okay. Now, quickly back to your contention. You said that I think Cooper Rush is close to Dak, and you said he's not even close.
No.
Well, you've called Dak, you have written him off as nothing but middle-of-the-pack Dak, right? He's mediocre at best. So that would qualify or disqualify Cooper Rush as garbage, right? If he's not even close to middle of the pack.
Well, no. If you say Dak is a middle of the pack, I think I would put him around 12, 13. There's 32 teams, and your guy's a backup. Is he the best backup? No. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is better than he is as a backup.
I'd have to give you that since he's played in the Super Bowl and an NFC Championship, 2 NFC championships.
So with that being said, Skip, do you believe I think Nick Foles is a backup? I think he's an Indy. I think he's better. So, yeah, Dak is considerably better than Cooper Rush.
Okay, I don't think he's considerably better, and I don't think in your heart of hearts you do either.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
That's sort of the ongoing problem with my team. I think Cooper Rush is pretty good. I just like his fearless poise. I don't think he will embarrass me, but obviously he's going to need all the help he can get. Obviously, if Michael Gallup can go on Sunday, we'll discuss him in depth a little later, but if he can go, that's a big deal to me because he's pretty good. I'm not saying he's Justin Jefferson.
Back?
What's that?
Is that Devontae coming back?
No, I'm not saying that.
You're sure making it seem like that.
No, but he's all I know about Michael Gallup is seems like every time I look around, it's like, wait a second, he just ran past somebody else and caught another deep ball.
Did he catch it?
Yeah.
Because, sometimes, he getting to the juggling act
I've seen him catch a lot of big balls.
I've seen him it's the routine ones that he dropped. I've seen him make some
Is he better than Noah Brown? Yes. Could he help Cooper Rush more than Noah Brown can? You better believe he can. Now back to 21. It is time to feed the beast. He looks way better to me. He almost looks miniature to me now because it looks like he's dropped, I don't know, 15 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's down 15 pounds to me. Again, has he lost some of his explosion, his sort of instant acceleration?
You didn't believe he had explosion to begin with because you always said you didn't see the Zeke at Ohio State. You never saw that guy with the Cowboys.
Okay, but the rookie year, he went for 109 a game. Yeah. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I would take... I told you, if he could average 80 a game this year, well, I just told you, an early 4-game stretch, he averaged 105 a game. He's 27 years. He turned 27 in July. He's not too chronologically old to do this.
But Skip, he's taking a lot of
He's taking a lot of hits. I got it. We got Earl Campbell syndrome going on because he is high contact because he's run to.
Yeah,
he's
run
through
yeah,
contact.
He run the contact guy.
He actually seems to live for it.
Right.
Like he wants it.
Right.
He wants to run into people. He wants to run over people. It's why he's as good as it gets in blitz pickup, because he seems to really savor the head-ons.
Yes.
Like these are head-ons, and they're running full speed, and you're stationary.
I don't, Skip, I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying that I believe Zeke is all the way back, but I think while Dak Prescott is out, I believe you should rely on him a little bit more than what you normally would had Dak been in. That's what I will say. And I believe that's what they're going to do. Now, you mentioned Zeke early in his career. That offensive line was prime.
I got it.
Zach Martin was at the apex. Zach Martin was just blowing people off the ball. He's still that, but he's not that old Zach. Tyron Smith was legit. He was going. You already, well, one of the left tackles are already taken because Tyron Smith has that. Frederick, the center, was an all. You don't be honest. He ain't Frederick. He's not.
Okay. If you put two kids in at left tackle and left guard, which they have right now as we speak, because I think Connor McGovern won't be able to go. I think he's already been ruled out.
Okay.
It's just easier to run block than it is to pass block, especially against supreme pass rushers. They're so good at what they do. They're so athletic. They're so quick and so powerful. It's just a lot to ask of a Tyler Smith out of Tulsa University as a raw rookie to stay in front of somebody. But listen, I told you, and the kid stood tall the other night. I thought he held his own. I thought he did the best you could ask for at that point.
Opening night.
Okay, he's a keeper to me. He's going to be good to very good. I'm not going to go to great, but I like what I see, and I love the way he competes. But he's a mauler, baller type. He's got the mentality of, he'll fight you. He got in too many fights at Tulsa. He was flagged constantly. He played a little over the edge, out of control. But you can harness that as a run blocker more, because the pass blocker is reactive. It's passive. It's more athleticism. Like you got to match athleticism. You got to be able to have dancing feet. You got to be able to do this and go side to side and anticipate. And it's more of a finesse block. The road grader block is just pin your ears back and go and get that guy and knock him.
And because Skip, it's a lot easier to play offensive line when you're at home. And the first two games will be at home. And so now he's able to hear the snap count. He's able to get up on the snap of the ball.
So my point is, I think you got a better chance with the Farniok kid from Nebraska. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Just let him road grade. Let him go. Pick a man and blast him. Just go get him. See if you can just drive him into the turf. Well, Zeke's quotes are correct to me. He said the efficiency was there. He got 10 carries for 52. It's 5.2 a crack. Okay? That works for me. I can live with that. He said, we've just got to commit to it. We've got to wear on that defense. The one thing he can do, even at 27, advanced age, going into year 7, I think he can still wear down a defense both physically and psychologically.
Okay.
He can just pound away because it looks like he's got his heart back. The other thing is he is effectively, not literally, but effectively he's in a contract year. He's got to know he is so cuttable after this year, and he makes way too much money for his recent production, right? So Jerry can be just as cold-blooded as anybody. As much as he loves Zeke like a son, if he looks at it and we get another 59 yards a game this year, he'll whack it. You know, he'll just say that's enough of that, right? Because they can get out without a big cap penalty after this year. Well, the point is Zeke's no fool. He knows that's okay. So he's pretty much running for his NFL life here.
I agree. So what do you think his number? You say you want him to have 25 for how many yards you think he has? 110. 25 for 110?
If you give me 110, we got a shot because we're going to win time of possession.
1, 2, 3 touchdowns?
Well, I don't care about I don't know. Those are like random to me.
Well, you better hope
if you get it first and goal at the 1 and he crashes it home, okay, way to go.
Well, you better hope he gets a touchdown or 2.
Well, that was the only thing that used to drive me crazy about Emmett. You know, he'd go get the football after he got a half-yard run for a touchdown, and I'm like, yeah, but Troy threw it to Michael for 64 yards, and he got tackled at the 1. Well, what does that mean?
Hey, okay. Next time, get it in the end zone. I know your pain, playmaker. It happens. So 25 for 110 and 2 touchdowns, you might have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Cooper Rush, he will not embarrass you. He just won't.
But you're gonna need Michael to get back. You're gonna need Michael doing this a lot. I got 2. I already got 2.
Micah,
Yeah, you're going to need him doing this.
We might need, I got 4.
Oh, you go 4 sacks?
Yeah.
Woo.
Boy, that'd be off to the races.
Well,
the way their line played at Pittsburgh.
You might.
The way they were eating.
You might.
Woo, you might.
You just might.
No, seriously. I think if they utilize Micah the way they should, you don't have to always line him up on the edge. You can put him in the A gap.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
doesn't matter.
Everybody. It seems like everybody on Cincinnati line is the weak link.
Well, go find it and go eat.
Yeah.
So between Zeke and Micah, I got a chance. And it's not like Cooper Rush is a rookie. It's not like he's Ben DiNucci or an older Garrett Gilbert who's just not good enough. You know, he's good enough and he's veteran. Right. Okay? Those are my chances. Do I think they're going to win? I do not. I picked Cincinnati to win the AFC.
Well,
okay.
Well, Cincinnati better get on the ball. There's not very many teams can start the season 0-2.
Okay, that's the problem. If Cincinnati had won 27-13 at Pittsburgh and just sort of taken care of business, I would feel a little bit better about this. But you don't think they're going to come in here and Joe Burrow's going to say, watch this? Right. And what was Burrow's quote yesterday? We just got to get off to a better start. So I'm going to be hiding my eyes in the first quarter, which is why I need Zeke to eat in the first quarter. I need to win the time of possession in the first quarter by 2-1. That's what I need. I need to keep Joe Burrow from getting hot-handed right away and not doing what he once did to my Oklahoma Sooners in the national semifinals, which he threw for 493 yards and 7 touchdowns with no interceptions. Okay? And the game was over after about 2 minutes. Yeah. You know, I don't need one of those at Jury World against the Cowboys. Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, that'd be great. Right.
Way to go. Congratulations.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.